Hey, recroom player! Hold on. Gizzy, I don't know how Gizzy's faster than me. Anyways, recroom player, welcome to My Little Monsters. We have a lot to cover today, and of course, let's not waste too much time with introductions here. Inside today's video, I'll be talking all about My Little Monsters, how to play the game, what to expect, and some cool things about it. Of course, without any further ado, let's get started and take a look at this new map. Inside of My Little Monsters, there will be 3 little areas where you guys are able to go. First being Mystery Meadow, or, the town square. In the town square, there's plenty of beautiful views in this new big map. So, as you guys can see, My Little Monster is a town square, and it has a bunch of open businesses which you guys can check out, which we will all check out soon. But there is this little patch of, land here. This is just a nicely natured area which you guys can hang out in, and you guys will even find Iris here as well. We'll talk about Iris in a sec, but let's talk about this. If you don't already know, My Little Monsters is a resource gathering tycoon game, which also includes pets and cute little monsters which you guys can play with, or give cute little decorations and etc. But to enable to craft those decorations, tools, and etc, you need to be able to go gather materials. And you have to go into the Evergrown, which we will check out later. The Evergrown is basically like a forest area where we go with our monster, and our monster produces light, which also explains these little light things on their name. This light helps you mine and stuff and see your area around you, and whenever they run out of light, you'll basically get teleported out of the actual Evergrown. So if you want to gather resources and stuff like that, make sure your monster has a ton of light, and you'll usually start off with 3 little light stars on the top of their head. They eventually run out of light though, very fast, and you'll have to charge it eventually, which brings us to this rock. Titled the Sunstone, you guys can either recharge light or you guys can upgrade light. Recharging light basically recharges their light, as you guys can see. And if you wanted to upgrade their light, it would basically just give them an additional star on the top of his head. It also seems like the Sunstone has some lore and stuff like that. Your sanctuary can, we trust, continue to develop. And you guys can ask who's the intruder, but at the moment, we don't really get much. So of course, as you guys can see in this little patch, other than the Sunstone, we just have decor. But it also brings us to Iris, the little grand lady here inside of My Little Monsters. Literally the best little tiny monsters ever. They're so cute. Anyways, you'll find Iris here counting her prismatic essence. If you decide to talk to her, you'll get some dialogue where you'll be able to either buy something or check out how many visits. By visits, it basically just means that if you log in every single day for, 5 days, you'll get these rewards, etc. And if you really wanted to, you can even buy prismatic essence as well. What are these shiny rocks, you ask? Well, basically, if you don't want to have to go through the hassle of trying to go gather materials to craft something, well, you can just gather enough essence, and you'll be able to craft it that way. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Sunstone and Iris in this little patch of grass. Now on to the buildings. Now, this is the Monster HQ inside of My Little Monsters. In here, you'll basically talk to Clarence, this old guy, and he'll basically give you a bunch of quests which will allow you to progress on your journey. This basically allows you to progress inside of My Little Monsters, and basically allows you to unlock new crafting recipes, and allow you to upgrade and unlock new areas inside your own sanctuary. He'll be your main guy for giving you quests and stuff like that, and when you first get into My Little Monsters, you'll want to talk to him first. This is Exceptional Cryptids, and basically kind of like the breeding business inside of My Little Monsters, arguably one of the most important buildings. Inside this business, you'll talk to Penny, the caretaker of all the monster eggs. Usually, whenever you upgrade or get another star inside your sanctuary, you'll get a free egg from Penny and stuff like that. When you're first starting out, you'll also get a free egg which will allow you to get your first monster, which, Grizzy is. He's my first monster. In addition, you'll be able to also look at the adult monsters inside of My Little Monsters. At the moment, inside of My Little Monsters, the Mothman, Sasquatch, and the Chupacabra behind me are the main 3 monsters that you guys can get at the moment. I really do hope Recroom decides to add more monsters soon, though, but we'll of course wait and see. This is the t-shirt/clothing store that you guys will find inside of My Little Monsters, and you guys can basically just buy t-shirts from it. You'll talk to the owner of this business called Benedict, and he'll basically have an entire little UI where you guys can check out all the available shirts for you. Not to mention headbands and accessories, etc. And Recroom better stop playing with these tiny hats and bow ties, because I would love to customize Gizzy. Who knows, maybe Recroom will add that feature soon, but we'll of course wait and see. This is DJ's Diner, and it's a curious case. When you talk to DJ, they'll go on a rant talking about how they can no longer keep business up because of monster endangerment or something like that. Kind of a scary thing DJ's got going on here. But if you guys want to check out their dialogue, you guys will have to get 5 stars inside your sanctuary first, which we still haven't gone over. And for the last business inside of My Little Monsters, and one of the most important, I would say, we have the Ye Olde General Store. This store is essentially like a Home Depot. You can basically craft here, talk to Wilson, get some side quests, stuff like that, and there's some decor as well. To Throughout your quest line, you'll be talking to Wilson and all the store clerks and stuff like that for specific things. Either you needed an egg, wanting to, get a shirt or something like that, or you just need to craft a different item. What's even cool is that all these clerks even have their own little monsters as well, which is so cute. Now, this is the crafting area, where you guys will go from crafting things like your tools, all the way to toys and different decorations for your sanctuary, of course, which we still have yet to get into. Now, I've been talking about crafting things to progress inside of my little monsters and stuff like that, but where exactly are you going to find this Evergrown to get your materials? Well, it's just right here. You guys can come outside the general store, and you guys will find the path to the Evergrown. There are some cautions, though, that you guys will need to take into account, and of course, we can continue onwards. Now, you'll be teleported in like this lobby area for the Evergrown, and when you're first starting out, you'll only have this portal right here in the middle. Basically, the Evergrown is a giant forest, and a super dark one at that. With the axe and pickaxe that you make when you first start your journey, you'll need to gather materials, and you do that by, actually gathering materials. But whilst you're exploring this forest, you'll find multiple portals or different pathways, which will take you to either more resources or less resources. So the only way to actually get these portals are by exploring and reaching inaccessible areas that you've never reached before. You'll see light, and when you enter it, you'll eventually unlock that portal. All these portals will eventually end up taking you back to Cryptid Creek, of course. Now, let's go inside this one, the one where you start off with. When you're inside the forest, Gizzy will start to shine his light, so you're able to see things and gather materials. Run away too far from him, and his light will start fading. So this is it. This is the Evergrown. It's a magical forest with a bunch of different parts to actually explore. I can't be here all day showing you guys the map and stuff like that, but there are tons of things to do and tons of things to see. You'll find things like small crystals, ever trees, logs on the ground, or even, boulders. There's stones and stuff, and these are just all, materials which you need to be able to craft things for your actual monsters. Now our monsters give us light and stuff like that when we're ever inside the Evergrown, but what happens when they run out? When they run out of light, it basically just teleports you back into the lobby for the Evergrown and stuff like that, and already his light is fading. So now that you know how important monster light is, this is how you'll be able to increase it. There's a material that you can find inside this Evergrown forest which will give you essence, which will allow you to actually give it to the sunstone, thus allowing you to increase his level and etc. These little areas where you'll have your monster dig and stuff like that will give your monster essence so they can continue to get more light stars. Feel free to check out the Evergrown and stuff like that, and of course make sure your monster is freshly refilled on light. There's also a few things to note as well. Inside the Evergrown, you need your tools, right? Well, if you guys, can't find them or anything like that, you guys can find them on your little, game chat UI right here. So you guys can just click and you'll get your axe. If you have the axe, you can just drop it normally to drop it, and then you guys will be able to equip your pickaxe or something like that. So there's this quick little menu on the back of your watch, but if that doesn't work, well, you guys can always go into your watch, go into this room inventory through your backpack, and you'll be able to, find all your stuff. And one last thing about the light, Gizzy will have some notifications on whenever he's running out or getting low on his light and stuff like that. So if you want to, you can follow that, but you can just wait until it all runs out so you can keep gathering to your maximum potential. I remember when I was first playing my little monsters, I would always leave the Evergrown forest a little early because, I didn't want Gizzy to run out of all his light, but it doesn't really matter because it just teleports you to the little Evergrown lobby. Gizzy, just wait a little bit, Gizzy, please. Gizzy, don't run out of light on me. You got 2 stars left, please. I'm trusting you. Now, once you come out of the Evergrown, you're most likely going to want to go visit the Sunstone so you can go recharge your monster. Or you can wait, that's fine too. But you guys will probably have gathered materials and stuff like that, and will begin crafting. Inside the workbench, you guys will find multiple things for tools, caretaking, decorations, seats, and even upgrade kits which you guys can use to upgrade your sanctuary. If you guys are forgetful and want to track how much, resources you need, well, you can track your actual, what you need. And crafting is as easy as pressing 2 buttons. That's pretty much it. Oh, Gizzy, get out of there! So, of course, feel free to use the tracking feature to be able to track what materials you may need from the Evergrown and stuff like that via track. And as you guys can see, you can also craft with that prismatic essence that Iris was talking about. If you wanted to craft with essence, it's the same exact thing, and it crafts it normally. Now next is the Monster Sanctuary, kind of like the little home for all your monsters. Now this is your Monster Sanctuary, and as you guys can see, I have 2 out of 5 stars at the moment. With more stars, you get more eggs, which means more pets and stuff like that, so you guys can see 3 pets that I have, these 2, and then that little pink guy over there. But anyways, this is my Monster Sanctuary after 2 stars. When you first start out inside of my little monsters, you'll start off with 0, and you'll just have this little patch of grass right here. But at 2, you get this little expansion over here, and then you get that expansion. As you guys can see here, there are games inside the sanctuary, along with beds, food, campfires, and honestly, just nice vibes. This sanctuary can expand up to so much more when you guys get maximum sanctuary. But anyway, when you're done crafting your decorations and your toys and games for your animals to play with, then you bring them to the sanctuary and you let them play. For example, I have Gizzy here, and as you guys can tell with that little thing on top of his head, he wants to play fetch. So all I gotta do is disperse a ball and throw it, and Gizzy should go get it. Look at him go. Oh, Chupacabra's trying to get it. And then he brings the ball to you. So cute. Now, if you want to make a pet follow you and stuff like that, here's how you do that. You'll basically go up to them and click on them. You'll get this little menu that says follow me, and when you hold it, they'll follow you. Now, as you guys can tell with Pokey, he seems to be a little tired toddler, so we're gonna put him to sleep. And you guys can just do that as easy as that. And he goes to bed. When he wakes up, he'll get XP and stuff like that, and that's usually the case with all the monsters whenever they play, eat food, etc, etc. On the topic of eating food, you feed your animals with fruits from the trees on your actual sanctuary. Either way, you can either drop it, and they'll just pick it up and eat it, or you guys can, go ahead, have one in your hand, and then press, a monster to actually feed it, as you guys can see there. Now, when you feed them, etc., it gives them more XP, and this XP basically makes them grow. The way it works is when you first hatch them, they're a hatchling. They're usually crawling and stuff, super small. Then when you feed them and level them up, you'll eventually get toddler. Then you'll eventually get child, teen, adult, and etc, etc. I think there's one more stage after adults, which is their maximum stage, as you guys can see. I have an adult Sasquatch, a toddler Mothman, and a teen Chupacabra here, as you guys can see, and they all vary in size. Now, when you hatch them, they can hatch in different colors and stuff like that, as to why I have a pink Chupacabra, a green Sasquatch over there digging, and we have a little cute Mothman. I think he's a normal color. But when they hatch, you really don't know which, monster or color they're going to be, so it's kind of all random, which makes it all the better and all the cuter. Now, of course, you can buy more eggs and stuff like that to get more, cryptids and etc., and you can pretty much buy your way to the top. Or you guys can grind your way to the top by making more, decorations, more games for them to play with, etc, etc, and slowly leveling up your sanctuary to 5 stars. I've been told that eventually once you reach 5 stars for your actual sanctuary, you'll get cool colors for your actual monsters, like black. Either way though, this is your animal sanctuary, and of course you build, craft, and make all sorts of things for your sanctuary and your animals. Now I know that this Recroom Original just came here, but that's not going to stop me from talking about my memberships. Nicely enough, my monsters want to shout out all my channel memberships. So massive shout out to all my Pookies, which include Garlic Bread, Coley, It's Freddy RR, Jack Tutorial, Jay, Nat the Pup, Astro Boy, Dozerblade Cat, BB Burning Owl, Bucket Guy, Yo, It's Jakey, Raphael, Cloud, Netflix69, and Box David. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and if you're a squidling, I appreciate your love and support as well. Now, let's get back inside today's video. Now, I want to say, from My Little Monsters, I definitely was not expecting this, at all. When I had first played this game, it was such a big surprise for me because I was not expecting a resource gathering tycoon game with cute little monsters. I was thinking more like Pokemon. And of course, I'm not even max level inside of My Little Monsters yet. So there's probably still more things that I have yet to talk about inside today's video. But it does seem like Recroom has a lot of plans with My Little Monsters, a lot of things that still need to be added, and of course, I think the Recroom community would love that. If you guys look at some of these stores inside the Cryptid Creek, well, you guys can kind of see that some of them are empty or just have their doors closed, and I definitely do think those could be future updates, as well as new monsters, etc, etc, but of course, we'll have to wait and see as My Little Monsters continues and continues. I think Recroom did an excellent job with My Little Monsters. They're so cute, it's such a well, balanced game and stuff like that. Definitely not competitive at all and super casual. By the time this video comes out, My Little Monsters should be available inside of Recroom. So of course, feel free to check it out, and be sure to let me know your guys' thoughts on this new Recroom Original. I think me and Pokey are gonna go play now, but of course, before I end off and go play with my monster, be sure to subscribe to the video and like the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and it really does mean a lot to me. Anyways, that's pretty much it with this entire new Recroom Original, and I of course will put you guys inside my monster's head now. Bye-bye!